unquote. Psalm 119, verse 105. Listen for God's Word weekdays at 5:45 a.m. and 12:55 p.m. through
Oasis. Stop by for a refreshing drink and share a God perspective for the day.
Oasis, weekdays 5:45 a.m. and 12:55 p.m. right here on Nationwide, a revolution in media.
The rebroadcast of the Oasis can be heard weekdays at 5:45 a.m.
That I was testing the mic. Good evening, everybody. It's that time. I'm a very cold Mahiri Stewart.
And I'm Shalois Michael. And welcome to the comments section.
Welcome to the comments section. That was Marcia Griffith's All My Life. I told our producer, Sonia, to choose any Marcia Griffith song, and she chose that one. The YouTubers, actually, to get the YouTubers more involved, if you want a Marcia Griffith song, or your favorite Marcia Griffith song to be the outro for today's episode,
share that with us in the comments.
Share that with us in the YouTube chat, rather. But welcome to the comment section, everybody. Episode 3.
Yep.
Starting to get a little bit used to it now, but this is the brand new show here on Nationwide 90 FM right after N at 5, where we take you through everything trending in cyberspace. And as always, we start off with the public opinion. Take it away, Shaloy.
Now, in Jamaica's justice system, pleading guilty is often encouraged as a way to reduce the backlogging the courts, shorten trials, and bring cases to an earlier close. In many instances, those who plead guilty can receive reduced sentences on the basis that they have accepted responsibility for their actions. But that practice continues to divide opinion, especially when serious crimes are involved and when victims and the wider public question whether justice is truly served. In Jamaica, statutory provisions for reduced sentences in exchange for guilty pleas came into effect on November 30, 2015. So in public opinion this evening, we're asking you, should people who plead guilty to crimes continue to benefit from reduced sentences?
And as always, we start off with the reactions from the streets.
Let's hear it.
I believe if you are proven guilty, you should serve a time, and I don't believe there should be a plea back.
No, they should not, because they admitted to guilt. Why should they benefit from a reduced sentence if they told us that they did it? That's unfair.
Well, it depends on the proportionality of the reduced sentence. So if it is still within the range that it could be considered as justice is served, yes, because you would have saved the court some time in pleading guilty at first instance.
Yeah, it all depends on the severity of the crime. If it's a crime that is not considered as a serious crime, well, yes, in some sense they can. If it's a crime that is severe, like murder, rape, or something like that, no.
Yes, I think it depends on the severity of the crime, and also, evidence and research coming out of the case too. I guess in certain cases you can say, all right, let me just not be too harsh on this person because of, again, the severity of the crime. So yeah, I think certain crimes can, allow for some lenience.
All right, folks, those are the reactions from the streets, and immediately upon listening. Now, one thing we need to clarify, see a lot of people alleging that we asked this because of the ongoing trial or case right now with Julian Silver, but that's not actually the case at all. If you cast your mind back to Monday, we carried a story in which Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith, the Foreign Affairs Minister, was reacting to a 12-year sentence that
was given to a man who pleaded guilty to dousing his
ex-girlfriend in a flammable liquid and setting her ablaze. That was Alicia King. And he received that 12-year sentence as a result of pleading guilty. And it started the conversation. Senator Johnson-Smith was on X saying, yes, it may be part of the sentencing guidelines. Yes, it is part of the law. But in terms of making sure that persons who commit crimes still go to jail for the time they deserve to, especially based on what they did, she was mentioning that this guy has ruined Alicia King's life.
Yes, because I think she underwent over 30 surgeries as a result of the incident.
And that's something she told us herself when she came on the program. So, yeah, so we're going to take a look at today's public opinion comments, and we're going to start off with Facebook. So when we head to Facebook, we see the first comment that
Don Barnett. He says it all depends on the type of crime committed. The crimes should be categorized and minimum sentences set. Crystal M. Chatri says no. People and families still a mourn.
And we keep going through Facebook. George Elliott says this should be done on a case-by-case basis. When factors such as premeditation, perjury, assisted cover-up are part of the charge, a plea bargain should never be offered. Vanessa Samuel says, nope, plain and simple, they only plead guilty to get less time, not because of remorse for the crime they committed. And Mark Sweet says, yes, I think it should continue. It's a sort of incentive, and it does save the judge time and reduction in files.
And Michael Clark says, in some cases, but not all.
Right, and we keep going with the Facebook comments. Guinea's Barking says no. Cheryl Griffith says it depends on the crime committed. Dean Stewart says this only opens the gate for some to get away from feeling the full length of the law. Popper says no, and Hepburn Davis says no on Facebook. And
Philip Jackson also said if you're convicted for a crime, you must face full consequences. No negotiation when you're committing this crime. So full consequences.
But the problem is, Shala, in terms of making sure, because it's in the law for a reason. By pleading guilty, you don't waste the court's time
and resources.
Exactly. If everyone were to not plead guilty and they'd just say, no, I'm innocent, let's take this to a trial.
Let's roll the dice and go to trial. Then
I feel like a lot of... We'd have backlog.
You need an incentive.
Yeah, so... but the problem is, man, if you don't give them that little incentive... then they have no real reason to plead guilty unless they're just 10 toes down on the crime and they don't really care to defend themselves because they know they don't have anything to defend from. So it's an interesting situation. I see YouTubers, I'm seeing news commentator JA say, should those who plead guilty get a lesser sentence? Yes, that is the question we're asking. And news commentator JA was speaking about the case that we were mentioning earlier with Antoine Gray, who got sentenced to 12 years, and she said yes, that guy should have gotten a longer time. After he's released, she will be in constant fear.
And even JFJ, they called for a review
of the sentencing guidelines, right?
Because they're saying it's unacceptable, essentially.
Right, so we're gonna keep it going. We are gonna go over to Instagram now, and on Instagram,
see what they're saying.
The first comment I see is from Peters Nooks 1870. He says yes. Will Ryan Wilson says no.
Their sentence should match the crime and supporting evidence brought against them.
York Rich says that's the whole point of
because again, you need a little incentive.
Because honestly, let's imagine if courts actually were that way. Let's imagine if everyone that was guilty of a crime just said, you know what?
Rolling the dice.
I did it. No, not even that. I did it. They just admitted to it. All guilty persons just said they were guilty. There would be no backlog in the court. Every court case would just be like that. Come and go. Exactly. So it's an interesting situation, but we keep going. Kimberly Too Sexy says absolutely it happens even in the most developed countries. Within the federal system of the US, the majority of cases are resolved through guilty pleas, and it is relatively rare for judges to impose mandatory sentences. And lastly, on Instagram, we have Hamster Dolled Up. It says yes, but they should get at least 20 years instead of 35. Again, that's solely dependent on the crime. because I feel like there's some crimes out there that if I plead guilty to, I probably shouldn't be spending 20 years in prison for. Like something minuscule, like let's say, give me what's the pettiest crime you can go to jail for? Not paying taxes is bad. No, it can't be that. What's the pettiest crime you can like get sanctioned for? Failure to, I don't know. No, that's a government thing. That's not for regular people.
Let's not wade in that water.
Yeah, exactly. But
over on X, Dr. Douglas Tian says yes, it's simple. They don't waste the court's time. And okay, so we're getting. It's Mixed
not
reactions.
a one-size-fits-all reaction. We are actually getting a bunch of different answers to this one. And it makes sense because I can understand both arguments of wanting people to just plead guilty and get it over with, but also wanting the case to actually go to trial and be properly examined and cross-examined, and you bring up the witnesses and all of that.
And
but
I think
again,
someone also mentioned the families. You have to also think of the victims, those
Right.
who are impacted as a result of whatever crime committed.
and again, solely dependent on the crime, because I feel like there's some instances or some crime we can't be thinking to the most extreme here.
True.
When it comes to plea deal. All right, I think I have a perfect example. What about like traffic tickets? Of course that's a crime, right? Speeding, or breaking the Road Traffic Act. We can't have no mandatory minimum sentence of 20 years for me speeding or breaching a red light. It can't be that serious. So I feel like there's some people answering that are going a bit too far in terms of that. But that's public opinion right now. Thank you all for giving your answers as well. We'll still be checking with the YouTubers to see what they're saying about the matter. But let's cut to a quick break and then find out
right
what's
back.
cooking on Sports Talk.
On October 28, 2025, Hurricane Melissa devastated Jamaica. But your government is mobilizing, reaching every community, delivering relief, and rebuilding together. The time by the Office of the Prime Minister is...
It's 15 minutes after 7.
You think you're getting the full nationwide experience now? You just wait. The Family Club is coming soon.
Turn up the heat with Hot Listing, Nationwide 90FM's new on-air and online classifieds feature. If you have a car for sale, room for rent, or yard sale come up. If you look at work or need stuff. If you provide a service, make it a Hot Listing, Nationwide 90FM's new on-air and online classified segment. Your listing plays again and again. From morning till evening. You sing it, we play it. You say it once, Jamaica hears it all day, every hour. Contact our sales team now at 876-630-1210 or sales at nationwidenewsnetwork.com. Hot Listings on Nationwide 90FM, a new revolution in media.
Good evening, welcome back to the comment section. I'm Mahiri Stewart.
And I'm Shaloy.
And now it's time to find out what's cooking on
the socials.
If you remember correctly, at the beginning of the show, I introduced myself as a very cold Mahiri Stewart. And we've done 3 episodes now, and all 3 of them have spoken about the temperature, and this one will be no different. This 3rd episode brings up the temperature once more, but not because of us this time. Folks, it's a bit chilly in Cuba, and that's putting it lightly. Tell them what's going on, Shaloy.
Cuba is currently shivering through a historic and intense cold snap. On February 3, 2026, the country officially recorded its first freeze in history.
So for those of you who don't understand what that means, it was literally 0 degrees.
Literally.
It was 0 degrees in Cuba at one point. One of the northern parts of Cuba actually recorded a temperature of 0 degrees. It was freezing in Cuba, and I believe in our story that we covered in regional,
We got a lot of comments.
we did get a lot of comments.
Will Ryan Wilson says, if them say it's snowing in halfway through your morning, I would not be surprised. Very unusual times we're living. Shamoya says, Jaja, Jamaica is a blessed country, you know.
Fairs. But like,
Coco25 says, it's coming to us Friday, guys. Be prepared.
that's another cold front, yes.
Another
cold
front
front is on the way, but there have been no guarantees that we will have to put up with 0 degrees.
Brown Skin Girl says, signs of times. Jamaican Guy 14 says, how we don't fear God and warn Cuba. It's always, oh my God.
All right, so for some extra context, so I've pulled up the story. It says frost. There's actual frost on the crops in Cuba, in this northern area that recorded the 0 degrees. And the island's previous record low temperature was 0.6 degrees Celsius in 1996. So safe to say we are living, or they are living rather, but we're near them. So technically we are also living in very unprecedented times. I can't imagine. Okay, you know what this reminds me of? You remember when it would happen every now and again. Sometimes it would rain and there'd literally be hail.
Yeah.
We have hail every now and again. There'll be people on social media and they'll take pictures of the hail falling from the sky. And people would think that's because it's very cold, and it is, but 0 degrees.
That's something else altogether right there.
Yeah, because like when the cold front hit this weekend, as bad as it was still Manchester, you know. So you know we're very up high. As bad as it was, I remember seeing the lowest temperature I remember seeing was 15 degrees. So you telling me Cuba has it 15 degrees worse than 15 degrees? They have no degrees at all? Frost growing on your crops? If we go through the comments more, people are saying, listen man, wow. And that's all you can say. And people are posting the cold
Signs
emoji.
of the times.
But what say the YouTubers? YouTubers, what do you think about the fact that it's cold? When I think of 0 degrees the other day, I came out of my car and it said 12 degrees Celsius in New York, and you guys are telling me it's 0 degrees over Cuba? Yes, Spur Tree Home Away Villas. Yes, indeed. I don't know what to tell you, man. But
news commentator says Friday better uncold itself because I can't bother anymore.
Indeed, but from one interesting situation
to another,
a chicken shortage, folks. Several wholesalers and retail outlets across the corporate area.
Across the island, actually.
Is that so?
Yes.
It's sorry, folks. It's worse than the corporate area. Across the island are experiencing chicken supply issues. Checks reveal that several businesses, some usually considered reliable sources for poultry, are out of stock, while others have reportedly found only limited supplies. And we actually have a couple bites to tell you more about what's going on with the chicken shortage.
Oh yes, there is a chicken shortage in my area. For the past 2 weeks, I have to be turning back my customers because I don't have any and I can't get any. I've visited every wholesale there is in Christiana and I can't get any. So we just have to do without until.
Yeah, so that right there is an audio from a shopkeeper in St. Anne who buys her goods in Christiana, Manchester, and she's saying no chicken no day. I called my dad as well, who's also in country, and he was telling me that he's been to at least 3 shops the other day, no chicken.
And those are his usual spots.
No chicken. But we did get a little clip from the Agriculture Minister himself, Floyd Green, about the chicken shortage. Here's what he had to say.
We've been hearing that there's a shortage in chicken.
Well, you know, we did suffer a major blow to our poultry sector. We lost over 1.1 million birds, and a lot of our backyard farmers were decimated. That would have to show up at some time. Thankfully, our companies had a high inventory level, so it never showed up during the Christmas. But as we go back now and as people set back up their cubs, the ministry has already distributed about 64,000 birds. As we get back up, but as some of the demand comes back, there will be tightness. But we're going to treat with that. So now schools are back, some of our major hotels are back, so you're going to see additional pressure in terms of the demand. But in another week, 2 weeks, that should be dealt with.
Well, there you have it, folks. That's Agriculture Minister Floyd Green speaking with Honey B on the E-Zone earlier today about the chicken shortage. And you know, it's funny. People have to ask what came first, the chicken or the egg. We had an egg shortage first, and now we have a chicken shortage. Which means we're probably going to have an egg shortage because there's no chicken to lay. No, because
at the end of the clip, he did say in a week or two, we should be fine. So fear not, people.
Or at least not for now. It could get worse. Who knows?
It could get worse,
but yeah, I'm seeing people in the YouTube chat say yes, that is indeed the truth. Who is this? Ronald Ranger says yes, chicken's been short and a couple weeks now.
Valentina XXO says time to eat more peas and beans, Jamaicans, because I mean chicken is one of the most affordable
meats.
Yeah, form of protein for us, and we love chicken here in Jamaica.
We do, and it's funny. Somebody said that because another person was saying something similar to what you just said. It was this Novlet. Where are you, Novlet? Novlet Smith was saying, I just saw the comment a while ago. Hold on a minute.
While you search for it, Andre Spence says, only KFC, never know to fly up. And sure enough, KFC ever have chicken?
Yeah, for now. But it could very well get worse if things get too bad. But we're going to move on now to our last trending topic. And Shaloy is going to have to steer the ship. Because I do not watch Bridgerton, but I know that so many people do.
Bridgerton is trending, yes. So the first part of it, the first part of season 4 came out January 29. And I think it was 4 episodes. And the next 4 comes out February 26. Now, this season focuses on the second son, Benedict Bridget. My ear, you seriously need to get with the times, because you don't watch series at all.
We've had this conversation before we even knew we were gonna host this show. This that we're doing right now has been a constant conversation. Shaloy hates the fact that I don't watch series, and I keep telling her I'm a sports fan, and because of all the things I watch sporting wise, I literally don't have time to watch series.
We have the trailer, so we're going to
convince me, Shaloy. Let's see if this will convince me to start watching. Let's watch it together.
I should like great gossip. The social season might look a little different this. No. You must begin the proper way.
Dearest gentle reader.
For the season's most notorious gentleman, Benedict Bridgerton, he must bow to that most powerful of forces, mothers.
You simply must marry. You have not met the right young lady.
I am charting a more venturesome course.
You are right.
All the eyes of the town will be on us at my masquerade ball.
Can you imagine how beautiful a ball would be?
How horrible it is to be on one's feet all night.
They will attend the ball tonight and they will not appreciate any of it.
Just once. Just to have that feeling for one glorious night.
You could go tonight.
You would need to find me a good costume. I would need to be well disguised.
Just be out by midnight.
I cannot dance.
A lady who cannot dance.
You are quite the teacher.
You are perhaps the most intriguing person I've ever met.
Behind the cover of a mask, anything can happen.
We must find the owner of this glove.
You sound as if you have been made a new man.
What if he's looking for you?
He does not want to find me. He wants to find the lady in the silver gown, and she is not real. Mr. Bridgerton.
Do we know one another?
With a little imagination, the impossible seems possible.
It is all very well to dream, but Benedict,
Life is meant to be lived.
This is your chance. Tell him who you are.
There you have it, folks. That's
so this
the
season
trailer.
This season kind of mimics a little Cinderella.
I got those vibes. I'm not the only one that got those vibes. That's what I saw Mario was saying in our YouTube chat. He said it's an Asian Cinderella story. Always like the diversity. And shall I look at that? You have friends in the YouTube chat that watch Bridgerton with you.
Yeah, so please get with the times, okay?
Yeah, we're gonna have to get with the times, but folks,
we're off on a break, guys.
Last break of the night. Let's go.
content, behind the scenes moments, and priority updates. Coming soon to Nationwide 90 FM. Exclusive content, behind the scenes moments, and priority updates. Coming soon to Nationwide 90 FM. Turn up the heat with Hot Listing, Nationwide 90 FM's new on-air and online classifieds feature. If you have a car for sale, room for rent, or yard sale come up. If you look at work or need stuff. If you provide a service, make it a Hot Listing, Nationwide 90 FM's new on-air and online classified segment. Your listing plays again and again. From morning till evening. You sing it, we play it. You say it once, Jamaica hears it all day, every hour. Contact our sales team now at 876-630-1210 or sales at nationwidenewsnetwork.com. Hot Listings on Nationwide 90 FM, a new revolution in media.
We are winding down here on the comment section. I'm Mahiri Stewart.
And I'm Shalois Michael.
Shalois Michael, what was your comment of the day?
I think my comment of the day comes from Dylan McDowell. Back to the public opinion. He says, it all depends on the nature of the crime that should govern the sentencing.
Love that one. My one's kind of unorthodox. I hope Tony is still watching, because I earlier asked people to vote for a Marcia Griffiths song to take us out. And Tony voted for There's a Land by Marcia Griffiths. And that's what we're going to have to take us out tonight. Shaloi loves it, clearly. But that's comment section for today. Special thanks to our producer Sonia Stewart, our technical engineer Andrew Bugs Anderson, and our video editor Demar Williams taking us out. Thanks to one Tony. It's There's a Land by Marcia Griffiths. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
There's a land that I have heard about so far across the sea. There's a land that I have heard about so far across the sea. To have you on my dream.
He never shies away from taboo topics.